Hello, good afternoon to you and welcome to Bena Midday News. This news is coming to you live from Benab House, Atomic Junction, Medina. My name is Sherifat Ayuba. Coming up in today's bulletin. NIA has announced the implementation of revised fees for registration and related services following parliamentary approval of the fees and charges. Also coming up, gold prices have surged for the first time in history, extending a remarkable rally that saw the precious metal gain more than 60% in 2025. And in some news beyond our borders, dozens of mourners gathered in South Africa to bid a farewell to 3 school children killed in a school bus crash. Details of these stories comes up shortly. Staying with us, you can watch this news live on Facebook and on YouTube at Bena TV. Now let's delve into the stories. A massive fire has gutted hundreds of shops and mechanic shops at Sofo Line Magazine in the Kwadaso municipality of the Ashanti region. The fire broke out at about 7 p.m. on Sunday, January 25th, 2026, engulfing several structures including workshops and vehicles under repair and destroying large quantities of spare parts, equipment and other goods. Firefighters from the Ghana National Fire Service were swiftly deployed to the scene and succeeded in containing the blaze, preventing it from spreading to adjoining properties. No casualties have been reported, but the incident has left scores of shop owners and mechanics counting their losses. Investigations have been launched to establish the cause of the fire. And the National Identification Authority has announced the implementation of revised fees for registration and related services following parliamentary approval of fees and charges. The new fees will take effect on Monday, February 2, 2026. According to the statement issued by the NIA, the fee adjustment is in line with the Fees and Charges Malicious Provisions Act 2022, Act 1080, which requires public institutions to periodically review charges to reflect prevailing economic and operational conditions.
The NIA explained that while exchange rate conditions have stabilized, operating costs including technology licensing, cybersecurity services, utilities, logistics and personnel remain high and largely non-reversible. The last fee review approved in 2023 did not account for these cumulative cost increases. Under the new schedule, first-time registration at NIA district offices will remain free for applicants below 25 years, while those 25 years and above will pay 30 cedis. Card replacement and nationality updates will cost 200 cedis, while card renewal will attract a fee of 150 cedis. Record updates without card replacement remain free. Premium services at NIA centers will range from 165 cedis for record updates to 520 cedis for card replacement. For foreign nationals, fees will be charged in the cedi equivalent of US dollars, including $120 for first-time registration and nationality update and $78 for annual card renewal. The full list of revised fees and charges is available on the NIA website at www.nia.gov.gh. The NIA assured the public that the adjustment will be applied transparently and responsibly, aimed at strengthening the national identity system to support governance, service delivery, financial inclusion, and national development.
Moving on, Ghana has formally stepped out of the regulatory shadows of digital finance, with Parliament positioning the country to become a governed, trusted hub for virtual assets, open banking, and cross-border digital transactions. This, according to the Chair of Parliament's Select Committee on Information and Communications, Abednego Azuma Bandim, as Ghana launched its virtual assets playbook at the Future of Finance Dialogues in Accra.
Speaking to regulators, fintech leaders and industry players, the Bumpurugu MP said the future of finance in Ghana is no longer theoretical. That reality, he noted, compelled Parliament to act. In December 2025, lawmakers passed the Virtual Asset Service Providers Bill, a move Dr. Bandim described as a clear statement of intent that brings Ghana out of the regulatory grey zone and provides the legal certainty that innovators, investors, and regulators alike have long called for. However, he cautioned that legislation alone will not deliver outcomes. Legislation is only the skeleton. Regulation, implementation, and industry practice are the flesh and blood that will determine whether these frameworks succeed, he said. Dr. Bandim stressed that Ghana's approach to digital assets must protect monetary sovereignty, pointing to the importance of regulated cedi-dominated digital instrument that keeps reserves onshore, operate under Ghanaian supervision, and integrate cleanly with our banking and payment systems. He outlined 3 pillars that will determine success. 1. Policy coherence between regulators, a careful balance between innovation and consumer protection, and disciplined implementation. Sandbox licenses, he explains, were deliberately included because Parliament wants bold ideas to be tested, iterated, and refined in controlled environments, calling on regulators and industry to see themselves as partners, no adversaries. Dr. Bandim said regulators are not gatekeepers of the past, they are architects of the future.
Moving on to other stories, the Ghana Armed Forces has dismissed a false report circulating in the media suggesting that about 60% of applicants who underwent medical screening for military recruitment tested positive for HIV. In a press release issued by the Naval Captain Veronica Adjo-Ahin, Acting Director General of Public Relations, GAF described the publication as a fake news and urged the public to disregard it entirely.
According to the statement, the medical screening process for applicants is still ongoing and no results have been released or declared at this stage. Contrary to the claims being circulated, the Armed Forces further indicated that steps are being taken to identify and trace the originators of the report, describing it as mischievous and misleading. The GAF also issued a caution to the media practitioners, particularly bloggers, vloggers, and content creators, to exercise professionalism by verifying information before publication. The Ghana Armed Forces once again urged media practitioners, especially content creators and bloggers or vloggers, to be circumspect and cross-check their facts before going to press, the statement added.
Well, on this note, we go for a quick turn. We'll be back with business and more. Do stay.
Gadari ya yi baki, amma wai ba za su barin ciniki ba. Baina Trade Connect ba cinikin wasa mutane suka yi ba. Masu sayar da kaya daban-daban daga na ado har da na ci da sha. Komai da komai kwana biyu tun da safe har dare da aka kare. Waɗanda suka ki zuwa sun yi da na sani. Amma kaga waɗanda suka zo sun yi ciniki, suka dace kuma suka yi murna. Yanzu dai muna shirye-shirye mu burge ku da na 2026. Shin ba za ka zo ba? Za mu fara ne rana 14 mu kammala rana 15 wato 14th and 15th of February. Ranar Asabar da Lahadi karfe 8 da safe har zuwa karfe 8 da yamma. Shin ba za ka zo ba? Ga lamba buga ya so mu yi fira 0539 48 7757. Baina Trade Connect. Mu mutum wuce ga mu can za mu wuce.
You're welcome back. If you just tuned in, you're watching Baina Midday News on Baina TV. Now let's move on to some business story. Gold prices have surged past $5,000, that is £3,659 an ounce for the first time in history, extending a remarkable rally that saw the precious metal gain more than 60% in 2025, a development with significant implications for major producers such as Ghana, Africa's top gold producing country. The rally has been fueled by rising geopolitical and financial uncertainty, including growing tensions between the United States and NATO over Greenland, as well as a renewed concern about global trade disruptions.
Markets have also been unsettled by U.S. President Donald Trump's trade stance after he threatened to impose a 100% tariff on Canada should it strike a trade deal with China. For Ghana, where gold remains a critical export earner and a key source of foreign exchange, the price surge could bolster export revenues, support fiscal inflows, and strengthen the balance of payments, particularly at a time when authorities are seeking to consolidate macroeconomic stability. Gold and other precious metals are widely regarded as safe haven assets, attracting investors during periods of heightened uncertainty. The broader commodities rally has also spilled into other metals, with silver climbing above $100 an ounce for the first time on Friday, building on its nearly 150% surge in 2025.
Now, in some news beyond our borders, dozens of mourners gathered at a sports complex in the South African city of Vereen on Sunday to bid farewell to 3 school children killed in a school bus crash. The memorial service was attended by government ministers, pupils from several schools, and members of the public who gathered to show solidarity with the bereaved families.
Two teenagers died on Thursday of their injuries from the crash in Gauteng province, raising the death toll to 14, authorities said, as the bus driver was charged with murder. The private minibus was transporting 16 students to various primary and high school in the south of Johannesburg on Monday when it collided with a truck around 7 a.m., leaving 12 children dead at the scene, according to authorities. 7 people, including 5 students, the bus driver, and a passenger in the truck, were injured and hospitalized. 3 of the 7 injured were discharged. Sindisiwe Tikunga, the minister in the Presidency for Women, Youth, and Persons with Disabilities said the affected families were being kept in the nation's prayer. Panyaza Lesufi, the premier of Gauteng province, addressed the crowd saying the tragedy was being mourned not only by the family but the nation as a whole.
Now, moving on to sports, Manchester United's interim manager Michael Carrick continued his dream start to his second stint in the position with victory at Arsenal on Sunday and said his team must ride the wave of confidence that has swept away the Old Trafford gloom. The former midfielder answered United's score in the wake of Ruben Amorim's sacking this month, and his 2 games in charge have seen a 2-0 win against Manchester City and a thrilling 3-2 victory at Premier League leaders Arsenal, with Carrick placed in charge until the end of the season. This time, he has the chance to stake his claim for the role on a permanent basis, and his stock has risen rapidly.